This is my statue. I'm using this cloth as like a veil to kind of make her look a little more statuesque. I am taking the e.l.f. Soft Glam. This is actually currently too light for me. I have a little tan, but even on my normal day, it's a little too light. This is just an eyeshadow primer base in white that I got off Amazon. I am mixing it in with the foundation to help create a base for the statue. I don't want this super white. I still want some skin complexion to it. This is the inspo picture right here. We're not creating it identically. We're going to make it our own. All right, so it's definitely way more wider now. I'm just gonna apply it like normal foundation. I prefer this technique over paints because it gives a more full coverage finish. I am planning to cover myself with like a cloth, so I'm not gonna go too far out or down. And keep in mind that you can create this base with literally anything. So if you are looking to create a colorful base for like a Halloween look, this is definitely a more long wear finish versus paints, especially if you're oily or sweaty. Buy any type of color base you need to, and then just mix it with your foundation. So what I want to do is take, is this translucent? Yeah. This is a Tarte translucent setting powder. I actually don't like this setting powder. It's been sitting in my cabinet for a while, so I'm actually going to use it as my setting powder for this look and just pop it everywhere. I actually like having parts of my skin tone popping through because it makes it more human, statue-like, which is kind of what I was aiming for with this. So I'll start off by, I'm actually going to start off with some browns. So I'm taking like a fluffy brush, and this is the Urban Decay Naked Basics. It is cool tone, which is what I'm looking for. And I'm just going to start splotting it around. As you can see, it's going to start to look like aged stone. And I'm honestly just mixing these two shades right here. This one and this one together and just lightly tapping. If you feel like there's too much of like harshness, which it shouldn't really matter. Statues aren't meant to be perfect, especially if they've been sitting there for a while. You know, you don't want it to look too perfect. Just following literally the contour of my nose and bringing it into the brow. All right, for the eyes, we're gonna just contour with the same shades, but I'm adding a little bit of a darker one right here. And just focusing it on like the outer portion of the eye into the crease. I want this to be kind of more of like a emphasis on the eye. I don't want this to be like a pretty eye look. We're just creating the shadows that we need. Now I do want to throw some gray in there. So I'll take this new brush. It's got a little bit of firmness to it. And this is the ColourPop Smoke Show. I don't know if it's the same name now. I think it's Blowing Smoke. But just the light grays, not too heavy yet. And I'm going to just start creating variation in the tone of the stone. Alright, we will take a little bit of this darker gray right here. I'm just very careful with it because it's just so dark compared to the rest. I definitely want to create some cracks, so I'm going to just start bringing some of this under here. I want to look like a damaged statue. I'm almost looking like a zombie, but it's fine. Let's start to work some green in this because I'm going to be adding moss. This is the Friday the 13th palette. This olivey green is what I think will be good for the start. I'm just stamping it because this is where we're going to start to get ready to add cracks and moss. So we want to create a blend for the moss. It almost looks like sickening. Worst case scenario, I can just grab brighter green. I know I have plenty of them somewhere. So I am popping like a more lime green in here too, because I feel like I want a brighter green in this. Moss is meant to be bright. So I do want to create some cracks. So I will take like a brown. This is just eyeshadow. In this technique, it's all about pressure and amount of product used. I actually want to add more green under my eyes. I have an idea with this. Kind of changing my mind with originally what I was planning. But it'll come together once I put the contacts in and the wig and stuff. Ooh, I always come up with like crazy looking things. Definitely a statue, but definitely gonna be a weird one. All right, for the neck, we'll create a nice little, then you're gonna do shadowing to make it look more three-dimensional. So I kind of want to leave it like that because what I want to start doing, my lips blended in. I'm just using eyeshadows for this. The key is to kind of blend in your lips and then ombre to shape them. Because normally you would wipe away like any product you have on your lips, but I'm actually utilizing it to my advantage to get the shadows to stick. Only for this theatrical purpose. Only for this purpose. Because I don't really have lipsticks. And honestly, paints would probably wear right off. What I want to do before I go any further is start to get the specks in there of the paint, because that's really going to kind of bring more statuesque look, and I do have to add more to the neck, which I'll do after. With Mayron water activated paints, I have a little cup of water here, and it looks like there's specks of white, black, or maybe brown. White, brown, and that might be it. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm taking a brush. This is like a, I think an eyebrow brush. I don't even know. I'm going to dip into some browns. Prepare to make a mess. See how it just adds? The more intense you want the spotting, the closer you get. Now I'm going to dip into white. I think I want to model some gray in there too. I don't think I have a gray anymore, do I? Well, maybe you were gray at one point. I don't know if you are now. Did you see the difference it adds? I kind of put more on this side. You could tell I favored it a little. So maybe I should add a little bit more brown on this side at least. The shadowing here. So going in with the brown eyeshadow palette, the James Charles Morphe palette. I will take the lightest brown and just start shadowing around those cuts I made. The key is to leave that middle part right there highlighted, like the normal color, so that it looks three-dimensional. And focus the majority of that brown where the wound is technically the deepest. Just creates a more realistic looking cut, because it would fade as the cut gets closer to the normal skin. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Is that the only place I made a cut? Oh, I feel like I need something over here. We're just gonna do that. I ultimately am sticking with more browns. I just like the look the browns give versus like using a gray. It just complements the green more that I have. And then when I add the moss, it's gonna be really weird, but let's try it. I'm taking some of the white eyeshadow base real quick. All right, so I've just coated the lashes with white eyeshadow primer, just because I'm planning to throw these out after anyway. And now I'm gonna go ahead and start adding the moss. So what I'll do is take a little bit of the Pros-Aid on a Q-tip and just start lightly patting where the green is. It doesn't only have to be where the green is, by the way. We're gonna put a little bit here, so it's kind of easy to put on. I'm just gonna take a little piece for the nose area. And this is the final look. I didn't know what I was gonna do with the hair, so like I just grabbed a cloth that I have to represent like a veil and just put it over because I don't have anything else. But this is the completed look. I hope it looks okay because I can't see what I'm doing. I think we accomplished it. If you guys enjoy watching me create content like this, because spooky season's coming up, so I will be working on more stuff like this, please comment below, like, give a thumbs up, do all the things so I know and can continue creating content I know you love. And I hope to see you in the next one.